This is Aslam with Deco Art. Deco Art is all about new stuff, new techniques, new innovations. I would say something completely new where we create the moment for you that needs to be cherished throughout your life. Not only that you would cherish it, but the guests that actually come to your wedding will cherish it. I'm very honored to be with Houston Live Network, and today I'm going to be joining with Jennifer Chohan. Jennifer and I have known each other for quite a while now, and she attends quite a bit of weddings, and she kind of attends the Pakistanis and the other culture weddings, and this is what we're going to talk about mostly today, that how we should do things in the wedding where our guest actually does not get tired and fed up of the wedding and rather enjoy the wedding while they are in the wedding. As far as the decor and all that is concerned, you'll see in our later shoots and our later episodes where we will bring in some more people that will actually guide us through in planning your weddings and all that. So, Jennifer, I have so many questions for you today, and I am truly humbled that you are my first guest today on the show.
Well, thank you for thinking of me. I feel
And
special.
thank you. And I would like to ask you, when you think about weddings, what do you think about actually?
So, weddings on a whole or Pakistani weddings?
You know, I would say that weddings on the whole, like if you're going to a wedding, and for you to kind of make it a memory for you, what are the things that you actually look for?
So, I think obviously ambiance
Uh-huh.
and the location
Uh-huh.
and how well it is set up, decorated, accessible, things of that nature. Food.
Correct.
Um,
And our DC food is pretty good, right?
It was really good. And I would have to say just the overall vibe, the music, the looks between the bride and the groom and the head table, and just you want to feel that this is a day that you kind of get to peep into and see just that one special day. Obviously, as married couples, you have more than one special day, but this is the topper on the cake, right?
Right.
This is the one big huge day, the big huge moment that you just wait for and plan for. So I just want to see that bride and groom excitement, that loving look between each other, or that excited look, and just being able to spend time with
Right.
everybody, their friends, their family, the bride and groom.
Exactly.
I don't want to feel like an isolated bystander of an event. So
Cool.
just to be a part of it.
So it's few things that I personally think that a lot of bride and groom or maybe the family makes mistakes, and which obviously it is a family event, and obviously friends and family are invited to the wedding. We recently did a wedding with you guys, and we chose a location where we wanted the rustic feel. And the bride was like, I want this look, but I don't know where we can get it at. And then we kind of guided her that, look, go for this particular location, and get this location.
Right.
So that way we can create the rustic look for you. So decor number one, that obviously is the important element in this thing. When you walk in and when you see loud music and all that, are you a big fan of that, or would you rather walk into a wedding where the music is very low and subtle, and you can actually socialize with other people? What do you think about that as a guest?
Okay, so loud, where I can't hear conversations, obviously no. But then I also feel it depends on the energy of the couple.
Correct.
If you have a really vivacious, music-loving, dance kind of couple, then I would expect to have some more, like if we're talking the reception time, right? I would expect to have some more fun, upbeat kind of music. If it's a more classy or rustic or that kind of it would depend on the couple, the ambiance, what I would expect. I think it should all flow together.
Okay.
That's kind of my feeling.
Socializing is what I was talking about. Is that whenever you first walk
more
into
quiet.
the hall,
Yes.
we have a lot of just loud music, and basically, if we're sitting to each other close
Can't
enough
hear.
like this, you can't hear each
No,
other.
that's
And
too
that
loud.
is one of the things that we actually guide our clients,
Mhm.
that make sure it has a subtle music
Well,
and
maybe I've only been to the ones that you've done then, because they've all been pretty good.
very subtle, right?
Yes.
Because these are the things, because I personally attend weddings, and I attend quite a few of them, and it kind of makes me first thing I walk in, and I want to talk to all these people, because obviously I haven't seen them
Mhm.
for a while, or maybe a week or so, and I want to catch up with them. So I want to be very quiet, and talking to them, and that is one important aspect of
Absolutely.
this thing. So I would want to talk to you about the music. We have great DJs in this community, and of course, later part in the shows, in next episodes, we are going to talk to different DJs and different videographers and all that. Our main concern, or our main thing about Deco Art Show, is to guide most of our clients. And in fact, I met a client today, and I actually explained her how the bride and groom should walk in, and she said that this sounds like a very good idea, where the music is very subtle, and people are walking in, and a lot of times what happens is, prior to the bride and groom walking in, the family starts walking in, and here comes the bride's brother and sister and all that good stuff, and the focal point, which is the bride and groom, by the time they walk in, it's really done and over with. People are like, I'm done.
Well, yeah.
So what do you think
Especially if
about
there's,
that and the music?
I mean, especially if you have 15 siblings and cousins and
Yeah.
aunts and uncles and
Exactly.
I mean, I think a lot of the weddings that I've attended growing up, you do have the bridal party and everything, but it's a very quick walk-in. It's a very quick announcement, and I mean, I think the whole thing happens in a span of maybe 5 minutes tops, if
Right.
it even takes that long.
Right.
And then the bride and groom walk in to their song, and they do their dance, and then
Exactly.
everybody goes and sits down, and it's enjoyable. It's fun.
Exactly.
Because it's short and it's sweet and it's to the
So
point.
we want to basically focus on the bride and the groom,
Yes.
and not the entire family, because
Correct.
it's basically their day
Yes, it
that
is their
you want
day.
to focus on.
Yeah.
A
And I
lot
agree,
of
the music should be subtle.
the
Well,
music should, and I've personally attended the weddings, and it's like I'm trying to talk to this friend of mine, and I'm trying to talk to this person, and the music is so loud, and by the time I get 25% done of the wedding, I'm like asking my wife, hey, do you have some Tylenol or a leave or anything like that, because I'm literally getting a headache. So what do you think about that? I mean, should the bride and groom let the DJ know, or the music party know, that look, keep it like this, keep it subtle, because we want to socialize? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that I agree with you on that part. I think it depends on what all is happening as well. So I think at the end of the night, it's good to play that louder, after everyone's eaten and
Right.
had their time, whatever. And then if people want to get up and dance and whatnot, that's the time for the louder, exciting, fun music.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But other than that, I think that it should be kept more at a level where people can talk over their dinner and get to mingle and have conversations, and then you kind of
So we
build
can
it up.
actually kind of talk about that. Hey, look, this person is wearing that, and this person
Of
is wearing
course,
that,
well,
right?
that's what you'd be talking
Exactly.
about. Oh, and did you know that she's not married yet?
Yeah.
And did you know that he just got married?
And that's the way we were supposed to be doing
Exactly,
that.
that's the way it's supposed to
So that's what this Deco Art Show is about. It's not offending anybody or anything of that sort. It's basically guiding our clients. As I said, that I do guide my clients a lot during the event, or prior to the event. I would tell them that tell your DJ this, or tell your videographer this, or tell your food catering party this, because we have been to quite a few of weddings where the food is about 15-20 minutes late, but it's understandable. I mean, it's unintentional that the catering party is running late or whatnot, but it's like, just go ahead and play subtle music, rather than having these speeches and having be somebody on the mic, and obviously the person doesn't know what they're talking about, and people are getting tired, so they'd rather socialize with each other than listening to what's going on.
Right, absolutely.
What do you think about that?
About
And I've
this
got
be-
like
about
tons
this-
of questions about this.
Well, I have a question for you too, actually. So I'm going to cross my fingers so I don't forget to ask you. The speeches, so the wedding that you just did for my friend, I really loved. I told you this. I really loved it, and awesome part I thought about it was she kind of just had just the couple of speeches. They were nice, and it was just, you know, her closest people. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't, oh my gosh, I need to get up and go outside, or when is the food going to be ready, or anything like that.
Right.
I would say most people stayed quiet. That gives you a good indication of how short it was,
Exactly.
because people were quiet and paying attention.
Right.
And then they were done. It was over.
And I actually, by the way, I'll
I
cut
like
you
that.
on that. I actually told her to do that.
Well, see, there
Yeah,
you go. Look
I
at
actually
that.
told her that.
Feedback from your
Yeah.
own advice.
Because you know, she was I asked her what the program was for the wedding, and she was like, you know, this is what's going on. And I'm like, you know what, as a family member, yes, I would love to know where you met and, you know, how you guys got together, but 75% of your guests really don't care where you met, you know, where you went to school, you know, what you did in your break time or whatnot.
Well, I
you
think
know?
we would care if it
I
was
think we
short
care.
and funny.
Yeah.
Or even if it was really touching but short.
Yes.
I think what happens is that you get, let's say I have 5 close friends and a sister.
Uh-huh.
So my sister gets up and talks about all of my wonderful, of course, traits and everything else from the time I was 5 years old,
Right.
all the way up until I met him. Then my best friend comes up and pretty much says it all over again with a couple of different pieces. And then the next person. So after a while, you're like, okay, I mean,
We're done and over with.
I got it.
Yeah.
I get it. She was like this, and she was like that, and he was like this, and this is great, and you guys love everybody, and it's great.
And
I
that's the
mean,
way it's supposed to be. Like, keep it short and sweet.
short and sweet and funny, I think, is the best route. Or again, like I said, touching, but short.
So, as a guest
all have
again,
ADD now.
exactly right. You know, and these questions, the reason I'm asking you is, once again, a lot of people do. Sometimes I post something on my Facebook or something like that, and a lot of people get offended. Oh my God, you're talking about my wedding, and I'm like, you know, I'm not actually talking about anybody's wedding. I'm
No, not
actually
at all.
talking about, in general, when I'm a guest, what do I want, you know? And when I talk to a few people, you know, they have the same saying, and yes, it's a memorable time for the family, and everybody wants to get on the mic, or everybody wants to do this, or everybody wants to do that, but you'd have to understand the fact that you've got about 75% of the people that are a guest, that they are there obviously to share share this moment with you, but obviously there is a certain time limit that they are like, okay, now I'm done with this and all that good stuff. Back in the days, I used to, and I don't know if you know about this, but back in the days, we used to have in the Mehndi nights.
Was this
Where-
before color TV, or was this?
No. I'm talking about my teenagers, and I would say about 7 to 8 years ago, when you know, now Bollywood has actually taken over, and we're doing these dance performances and all
Right.
that good stuff. And I remember and I'm sure you remember those times as well, that when everybody used to get together in the Mehndi night and used to do the Ras and Garba together, and it was just not a set of people doing the dance performances, and everybody
So,
joined.
Unfortunately, I wasn't I didn't have a lot of exposure to it at that time. The Mendi that I had gone to back then was not so many choreographed big dances or anything like that. But I know Sonny, you know, my husband, he talks about the Mendi night very fondly, as whenever he describes it. And I think what always excited me about going to a Mendi, which never really occurred to any of the ones that I went to, was he was like, it's kind of like a dance-off between the two sides of the family sometimes, and they
Right.
just kind of have fun with it, and it's a lot of people together from the one side of the family, and then a lot of people together from the other side of the family. And
Right.
they kind of get together like the 3 days prior to the Mendi and throw something together, and off they go. And that's how he described it and how much fun it was, and everybody sits around, and it's just a fun, the most fun night of all of the events, I think, was kind of
Right.
how
Usually,
I got a
exactly,
vibe
and
from
this
it.
is what the latest. Unfortunately, the latest trends are right now that you know, they do damn good of a job in
Yes.
dance performances, and
I was
they
gonna
spend a
say,
lot of time.
Yes, because
you know.
we practiced, I think, for like 3 months in advance.
Yeah. And
And it's for a 7-minute
7 minute
dance.
skit. And I think that that's the perfect timing because other people would actually enjoy doing,
Yeah.
seeing that or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then the guests that, and I've noticed quite a bit lately that when these dance performances starts happening, I would see about 50% of the people leaving, and then after that about 25% leaving because everybody has their work next day or something, or either it's too late in the night. So this is how I guide my clients as well, as that whenever you're doing something like this, keep it to a minimal because every time short is always sweet. If you try to extend it to more than 10 minutes, then you're overwhelmed and you're saying, okay, I'm done and over with about this.
Right. Or why can't we do the maybe this is an insane suggestion, but why can't they do some of the dances while some of the pictures are being taken so that people actually have something entertaining to watch and look while there's all these people waiting in line to get their pictures taken. There's something festive and fun going on in between.
Exactly.
I find that time to I don't know, that time just really
See, that's a good idea.
gets
I
to
should
me
always tell them
because
that,
I'm always just sitting there at the table because the food's not out yet.
And
there's no
you're just
music
waiting.
playing.
Exactly.
And so you're just in there waiting, and there's this big line of people taking pictures with the bride and groom, and you can't even talk to the bride and groom because they're busy.
Yeah.
You can't talk to their family because they're busy. So
Exactly.
I almost feel like I said, I like to be, the whole point is to spend that time on that special day with the bride and groom and their family. And I think a lot of times as the guest, you almost feel like,
you're not, yeah, exactly.
you get your 5 seconds with them when you get the picture
that's
taken.
it. That's it.
That's it.
And you're like, that's a quit right there. And obviously, you want to get home by 11:30, 12 or so. And our Desi events are pretty long, I think, right?
Well, I mean, food doesn't even come out until 10:30, 11.
I know.
Can't
and
leave
that
before the food comes
that
out.
is bad. But
People are passing out.
we do have certain communities in Pakistan, or these smiley communities, of course, and they're moment people, and I would say they're superb in timings. So at 7 o'clock, if they tell us 7 o'clock, their people are there at about 6:55, and you will be shocked. And Sonny Bhai was taking some shots when we were doing this traditional setup at Stafford Center, where we did a very traditional setup, and he was there and he took a few shots of that event, but he himself was quite surprised. He was like, man, I'm about to leave and I see a bunch of guests coming in already and it's only 6:55. And I'm like, yes, remember I told you, Sonny Bhai, this community is, mashallah, they're on time. And they are at 12:30, their thing is done and over with.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we always tell our clients, that make it short and sweet, but make it something that people will remember. You can have 20 dishes that are tasteless, but if you have 5 dishes that are mouth-watering, people would remember those 5 dishes. So never have those 20 dishes.
Especially when you wait so long, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's the thing. I think I just figured this out. They make you wait that long because you're so hungry that it won't matter how the food tastes.
Exactly.
So you'll like it no matter what. Is that the key? Like, okay, listen, guys, stretch out the food time for another hour or so. By then they'll be so hungry it won't matter that this is cold.
True. Very true. And I'm getting tired of. I know a lot of people are probably thinking that I'm pinpointing to some of the things, but again, our main thing is to guide the clients in the right way and guide them in a way that not only that their event is a memorable event that they want to cherish all their life. Of course the bride and groom will remember it, but we want their guests to remember their wedding as well too.
I have a question for you. Why is the cake cutting piece kind of secretive, or I don't know, it's not even announced? Or I notice a lot of things happen at the weddings that, so like I said again, the weddings that I attended growing up, the cake cutting was a big deal. It was announced by the DJ. Pictures, dancing time. I mean, the DJ really kind of led the event and letting people know what was happening, what was coming up. And I noticed a lot of times at the Daisy weddings, they really only tell you when it's food time.
It's because everybody's hungry.
And that's about it. I mean, really, I have no clue what's going on. I'm usually just sitting there most of the time. I think even at one of the last weddings that I was at, the speeches started and I didn't even know they were starting.
Right. And you don't
So
know, you don't have the slightest clue. Basically,
no
this is
idea.
one of the things that I would always suggest all of my clients to have a coordinator that actually works throughout the event and all that. And a lot of people, they try to save about $1,000 or whatnot, whatever the fees is. But I would say that always have a coordinator that is on top of things. That she or he is keeping up with whatever is going on, and people should always do that. The cake thing that you're talking about is basically it's a Western and Eastern culture mixture, and in Pakistani community or Indian community, cake is not such a big deal. It's there. We
What if it was
adopted
mithai?
this.
Then
Huh?
would it be a big deal?
No, mithai is a big deal if you think about it.
Should people
That
cutting that?
yeah, if you look on a dessert side, we have like about tens of thousands
Exactly.
of desserts in the
Yes.
back. But cake is not one of those things. It's something that we actually adopted from, from a different culture, and kind of in olden days, what it used to be is that the cake used to be in the room when the bride and groom went into the room and
Oh.
cut the cake at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I had tons of questions, but last question is that about our Desi cultural weddings. What do you think, or what as a guest would you advise them?
I would definitely say to stick to the traditions. It doesn't have to be traditional if you're not traditional, but stick with that Desi theme and the Desi vibe. I mean, it's what I think people get really excited to attend those events because they're so lively, they're so much fun, it's so interesting.
And the most
Um,
popular in the world, I
Yeah,
would
I
say.
think so. I mean, it's days and
That-
days and days of events. I mean, if you tell anybody white, any culture, they're like, oh yeah, those things go on. They enjoy
Indian
them.
and Pakistani
Yeah, we
culture
already
is
have the one day, fun event. I just don't change that part of it. Keep it true to the culture, I
to the
think.
culture.
Yes.
So I would really like to thank you for coming and joining us today.
I'm
And
thanking you.
I'm really honored that as a guest I talk to you, and being as a guest at a wedding, it kind of gives me a feedback what to tell my clients and stuff like that. So don't forget to watch Deco Art next week, where we are going to be bringing in different vendors from different aspects of this industry, such as your caterers, your coordinators, your DJs, your videographers, your photographers, and all that, and trying to make your wedding memorable and a cherished one, not only by the couple, but by everyone that actually attends the wedding. So do call us. The number is right here on the screen, or do email us if you want to see something behind the scenes or whatnot, that what's happening with Deco Art. Let us know. This is Aslam signing off with Houston Live Network. Allah Hafiz.